Episode 5 of Resident Evil is called Home Movies. This is definitely the most self contained episode of the season so far. By that, I mean there's not as many transitions of past and current times, but there's a reason for it, and you will find out soon. So, we see Jade. She's apprehended by a group of armed guards. Then the leader takes their helmet off, and Jade looks completely shocked to see who it is. But we, as an audience, don't find out yet, and we don't go back to current times until the end of the episode. Back in the past, we see Albert trying to call Jade. He's really trying to get in touch with her, but she won't answer. Just then, he gets an alert on his phone about a new video from the front door. He sees it, and it's Billy and Jade late at night, and he's wondering what they're doing. Then, a man who's basically the muscle of Evelyn knocks on his car window, and he said, "Evelyn is looking for you." Albert's like, "Not right now, can't do it." He's like, "This is not a request. You're coming with me." Then we see Evelyn on the phone with Simon, and she's upset with him for going to the party, and she said he's grounded. He says whatever, he hangs up. Then Albert arrives, and he sees they have Rubio tied up, and he's beat pretty bad because Rubio knows too much, and Evelyn needs to find out who the source is. So Albert says, "What's going on?" And Evelyn says, "Do you know this man?" He doesn't. And Evelyn says, "Well, he knows about Tijuana." Albert replies, "I thought Tijuana wouldn't be an issue." And Evelyn says, "I can admit when I'm wrong." She says somehow he knows about the dog problem. The dog problem being that the dog bit someone, and that someone is Billy. So she wants to find the source. We, as an audience, know it's Jade, so this is bad for Albert. She tells Albert she has to get him to talk. He gets a text from Billy, and Evelyn makes a sly remark, pretty much showing us that she has an inkling that they are the source. Albert says he has to go to check on Billy, but Evelyn won't let him. Then Rubio says to Albert, "I know you. You're supposed to be dead." Because in Rubio's mind, Raccoon City was nuked and he was supposed to be there. He then whispers, "I know your daughters," causing Albert to snap. He punches Rubio a few times. If there's something you can't do with Albert, do not mess with his daughters. Back to Billy and young Jade. Billy is trying to ease Jade's mind since the 72 hours have passed and she's fine. So Jade thinks that Rubio is just wrong and maybe he's full of shit. Jade then tells her she found the Tijuana file on Albert's computer. And to make things even weirder, they don't have birth certificates. So they go on a hunt looking for clues to see what else Albert is hiding. Jade finds a computer under his bed, but she doesn't have the same password. So who's she going to call? Her hacker friend Simon. She asks him to come over, but he's grounded, so he can't leave, but he's going to help virtually. Jade asks Simon what he knows about the original Raccoon City and if he heard it got nuked, like what Rubio said. Simon says that sounds crazy, but then he hacks into the laptop. He finds out there's info on Billy on there. It says, "If you're reading this, I'm sorry. Something happened to me, and Umbrella is coming for you." So Albert has a plan in place in case he is either killed or apprehended by Umbrella so that Billy and Jade can get out of there. Simon comes up with an idea to loop the camera footage at home so they can walk around the house looking for whatever Albert is hiding. So they creep around the house under Simon's instructions. Then they take down a family portrait, and it turns out that there's a riddle inside of it. The riddle says, "The key to a sad Jade is in the 5th grade." The reason he uses this is it's a riddle that only they can figure out. So they try to figure it out, and the only thing they can think of is Jade says, "That's when I got my tonsils out." Then it hits her. The only way she could sleep during that time is when Albert would play the piano, the song Moonlight Sonata. So they head to the piano and they start to play the song. At the end of it, one of the notes gets stuck. They lift up the key and they find another note. This note reads, "Moving song, huh?" So they got the idea to move the piano and see if there's anything under there. They move the piano and then they knock on the floor looking for a hollow spot. They find the hollow spot. What's inside the hollow spot? A bag, Albert's escape bag for Jade and Billy. In the bag is alternate identities for the two of them and $10,000 in cash along with a gun. Simon then jokes, "Your dad definitely nuked that town." So now they know Albert has been lying, but Jade still doesn't 100% believe Rubio. Then they find some DVDs, which relates to the episode title called Home Movies. They play one of these DVDs, and there's a man who looks and sounds exactly like Albert approaching a woman named Lisa. He says if she makes any sudden moves, shoot her. This causes Billy to freak out, and she says, "We need to go." Jade says the video isn't real, but then they dig further into Albert's files, and he sees that he's been tracking Billy, tracking her regression. This causes an alarm to be triggered by Billy and Jade, and when the countdown ends, all of the files are lit on fire. So it was a safe proof Albert had set up in case anyone ever found these files. Then Albert shows up, seeing what they have done. He looks really irritated. He says, "What are you even doing here?" Jade replies, "You mean how we found your secret lab?" And then they call him out for being on the video. Albert claims it wasn't him on the video with Lisa, even though it looks and sounded just like him. So maybe there could be a twin situation or a doppelganger situation, because remember, Rubio thinks that Albert should be dead. This town was apparently nuked, and now Albert is saying that's not me on the video. So what do you guys think's going on there? This causes Jade to not trust Albert in this moment at all. She actually holds a knife to his neck, but he keeps advancing, and then Billy from behind knocks him out. They restrain him in a chair that Billy thinks was made for her in case she turned, and when he wakes up, he tells them the truth. With a high enough dose of joy, it infects the body with the T virus, and it can make you inhuman. Billy says, "So what? Am I a science experiment? You're just following what happens to me so you can record data on it?" He says, "No, I'm actually the reason that you're still alive. That bag, those passports, the money was all for you. So why would I want to hurt you? It's all meant to keep you safe." But he is worried that Rubio will tell Evelyn that Jade is the source, and he needs to stop that by any means necessary. Then we go back to the beginning of the episode, and we see Jade. She's on her knees being held in restraints, and then we finally find out who the mystery person is as they take off their mask. It's Billy. She's alive. She has armed guards, and she seems to be in some sort of power. That is a crazy way to end the episode. The sisters are reunited in current time. Stay tuned, and we'll see what we find out next episode.